Today's video, we will be making the mother of all regretful cocktails that you have in your 20s, the Long Island iced tea. So we're gonna make the cocktail, we're gonna briefly discuss its history, and stay tuned to the very end because we will be tasting two historical versions of this cocktail side by side. Hi, I'm Chris from A Bar Above. I'm a 15-year veteran of the bar and somebody that loves making fun and creative cocktails. So we're going to make two different versions of the Long Island iced tea here in a second, but before we do, let's quickly talk about its history. Now, the reason that we're going to make two versions of the Long Island iced tea is because there are two different origin stories and two different recipes. So we're going to make them side by side and try them together. Now, the first story is arguably the oldest, and it comes out in 1920 Prohibition. And here, the cocktail name is actually called Old Man Bishop, and the focus is on bourbon, which is very different from the more modern version, which does not have bourbon. So fast forward to 1972, and Robert Butt is a bartender who submits a cocktail called the Long Island iced tea to a contest that is focused around triple sec cocktails. Now, I hope he won because his cocktail will live on pretty much forever as a standard cocktail. So now let's go ahead and make both versions of the Long Island iced tea and try them side by side. We're going to go ahead and start off with the much more modern version of the Long Island iced tea. This is one you probably already know. So we're going to go ahead and start with our spirits, and we're going to go ahead and build this right in the glass. So first goes in our tequila here. Vodka, basically all of our base spirits, gin, triple sec, and our rum. Now we're going to go ahead and add basically sweet and sour. We're going to do our lemon juice and simple syrup. And now we're going to go ahead and add our ice and then top it off with Coke. We're going to go ahead and give that a quick stir here. Now you can definitely shake this cocktail as well and then just pour it over fresh ice, or you just build it right in the glass. Great. And the last step is to top everything off with Coke. And the final step is to add our garnish, and we're just going to go ahead and do a lemon wheel on this guy. There you go, kind of looks like iced tea already. There we have it, our Long Island iced tea. Now we're going to go ahead and make the Old Man Bishop. So once again, we're going to go ahead and build it right in the glass. Now this one calls for lemon and lime juice. So I'm going to go ahead and add that right in. Right in there. Then I'm going to go ahead and add maple syrup right into the glass. And then we're going to go ahead and add our spirits. So from here, we have our gin. We have our tequila. We have our vodka, which is higher than the rest. Rum, and finally, a full ounce of bourbon. Once again, I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir, get those ingredients incorporated, add my ice, chill it down, and top it all off with Coke. And just to keep everything consistent, we're going to go ahead and garnish with a lemon wheel. There we have it, Old Man Bishop. So now let's go ahead and try the two different cocktails side by side. Let's go ahead and start with the 1920s version of the Old Man Bishop. So that is a really good version of the Long Island iced tea. You can definitely taste the maple syrup, and you definitely get the weight from the bourbon in there as well. So now let's go ahead and compare that with the much more modern version of the Long Island iced tea. That is the quintessential cocktail of my 20s for sure. It's nice, clean, bright. That is a Long Island iced tea. This one is much more crisp than this version, which is a little bit more dark and weighted. So now if we compare this to some of the more popular versions of the Long Island iced tea, there are two that come to mind. First is the AMF, and the other one is the Tokyo Tea. Now in both versions of that, they have replaced the Coke with Sprite, so you get this kind of more clear cocktail. And when we take a look at the liqueurs on the AMF, we're taking out the triple sec and we're replacing it with blue curacao. So you have this really brilliant kind of blue cocktail. With the Tokyo Tea, you were taking out the triple sec and you were replacing it with a green liqueur called Midori. So you get this really beautiful green kind of jade color to the cocktail. Now this is only two of the more popular variations out there, but definitely the most widely known. I'd love to hear your favorite version or twist on the Long Island iced tea in the comments below. So there we have it. We have made the Long Island iced tea and the Old Man Bishop. We've talked about the history as well as some of the more popular variations around this cocktail. Now, we know you have watched videos like this in the past. Hit the like, subscribe, and the bell icon, and you will get notified anytime we release cocktail videos similar to this one. Until then, I hope you guys are enjoying your favorite version of the Long Island iced tea. Cheers.